All right, all right. Just want to get on here for the first 2 minutes and just see if everything is working properly. Stiggs, can you hear me? Make sure in the comments. My man Stiggs. Thank you, pal. Yeah, I wanted to jump on 2 minutes early just so we can make sure everything was good because last time the mic didn't work properly. Frankie Vapes, what's up? That's a weird name you got there, though, Frank. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Joey? Bobby D's having a baby boy. God bless. I just shut it, Stiggs. I got it. I kept it open, Stiggs. It's open. YouTube's not on there. Still has an echo? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea why we're getting an echo here. Let me see. Let's see. Is it still an echo? Let's see. People are saying they don't hear an echo. Sounds good, no echo. All right, perfect. I think it was just too far away from me. All right, everybody, welcome to a live show tonight with LIL Snuff and AJ Galante is going to be joining us shortly, a good friend of mine. We have the Cash App link up there. That's the Cash App. Like I said, we still can't do super chats yet. We still didn't get cleared from YouTube. It's just a big process, so that's what we're doing. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? That's what I want to know first and foremost. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, my friend. Adrian, how you feeling? Fonz, what's up? I hear you, Cheese. Tommy Stiggs just dropped the Patreon link. Joey, I'm Pittsburgh Medium. I hear you. So I wanted to jump on live tonight just to talk. Me and Joey aren't going to be by our phones much this week. We're doing a lot of traveling. So if you reach out and you don't hear from us this week, that's the main reason why. Enjoying some family time. We're doing a little traveling. You're going to see some good content coming to your way soon. So if you don't hear from us that much, don't get mad. Don't get discouraged. We're here. We say it. We just got a lot going on. We're doing a lot of travel, and we're just going to keep sending out that content that you guys love. Shout out Nikki the Wig. I hear you, Nikki the Wig. What's up, Joe? Yes, I did watch The Sopranos, and I thought it was probably the best series ever, that and Entourage. Bella got 2 jars of tannin oil. I hear you. It's the best. Anthony from Australia, how you doing? Billy from Greek, I hear you, Billy. We will have an episode. Our episode comes out every single Thursday, 1 p.m. The episode will be out this Thursday, 1 p.m. Like always, full episode, Patreon. The rest is going to be on Spotify, YouTube like it always is. So, what's up, Mikey? All right, let's welcome in a good friend of mine. We did the podcast with him a while ago. We always kept in touch. Just a great guy. Let's welcome on AJ Galante. Here he comes.
There he is.
Can you hear me, AJ?
Yeah, can you hear me? Let me see.
No, hold on. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
Let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good. What's up,
What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Oh, living the dream, man. It's hot out there today, man. I'm dying over here.
Very, very hot out there. But I want to introduce you to all my fans, all your fans, all loyal supporters. Listen, whoever don't know, I'm sure they already know AJ. You know, me and AJ and Joey did a podcast a little while back. What is it, about 4 or 5 months now?
Yeah, man. I feel like it was like right after New Year's, man. It feels like just yesterday. It was like early January, I feel like, right?
I think it was January 2nd, actually, because, New Year's was January 1st. It was January 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy, man. I feel like just yesterday, man.
It was. And listen, every interview that me and Joey get asked, who was your best guest? We both always say you. We had just good chemistry. We all kept in touch. You know my family now. I know your family now. You got a beautiful little boy, a beautiful wife. We break a lot of bulls. We have fun.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you guys, we hit it off way before the pod, man. It's just cut from the same cloth. And, when you got real solid guys like that, from all walks of life, if you're real, like we said. And we just, like I said, we could have probably talked 6 hours that day when I came down there. And man, it's always great talking to you guys. And your family's the best. Your mother came through with me with those pizzelles. You guys got to order the pizzelles from Mrs. Snuff. Those are unbelievable.
They were.
My mom's still talking about those.
We got to get the Tupperware back, like she says, the Tupperware.
Oh, man. Yeah, my mother's been through so much medical stuff, like and she's been through hell and back this whole year. And all she cares about every time I see her is, did you get those Tupperwares over? I'm like, we'll get them. Don't worry. She's funny.
That's funny. Look, we got a lot of people in the chat. They're all asking some questions. AJ loved the documentary series. Wingfield played for my hometown UHL team. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, the Elmira Jackals, man. I feel like Elmira, man, they have such a rich history with minor league hockey, man. They had some team, we like the tough guys. You talk about Broad Street bully style hockey. Elmira had a really tough team when Wingfield was there. They had a guy named Sean Legault. They had some tough bastards on that team.
Really good. I love to hear that. Me and Joey love hockey, and that's just our thing. Now tonight, before we get into anything else, let me get your prediction on this on tonight's game. You got Florida versus Edmonton. It could be the wrap tonight. You never know. Florida's favored again. They are home. What do you think happens?
Edmonton is like the most Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team I've seen in hockey in a long time, man. It's almost like they need to be against the wall like this to like wake up. I feel like they're gonna pull it out tonight, but I feel like they just dug themselves too far into a hole this finals. And Florida, they were disappointed last year. They just I think Edmonton wins tonight. I think they win tonight, but I don't know, man. They just dug themselves.
You think it goes to a game 6? You think it goes to a game 6?
I do. I think Edmonton's gonna win tonight. But like I said, man, being down 3-0 in any sport, let alone hockey, and Florida, they're old school team. They're built. They're built for 7-game series. So it's going to be tough to tie the series. But I think it's going game 6 for sure.
The only thing that me and Joey were talking about the other day was they left him in the net to get 8 goals scored on him. That fucks up your confidence a little bit. You know what I mean? So an 8-1 final, it's different. Things are different.
It's true. It's true. Hockey guys, they're so tough. They don't say much really compared to the other major sports. Athletes are trained to be quiet and they're not supposed to show emotion. But you're right, man. Goalies are tweaked as it is. And you're right. I never really thought about it like that they kind of hung him out to dry there. That's really a good point. I didn't even think of that. But, God, to come back and win 4 straight, it's going to be tough. But, hey, it's happened before. We'll see.
It definitely did happen before. And, listen, you're a big-time hockey guy, big-time hockey family. My personal opinion, I think Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL. He deserves definitely to win a Stanley Cup. This year might be too tough. Down 3-1, like we just said, it's very tough to come back from. Very, very tough.
Listen, Snuff, I love Connor McDavid. He is, I said actually on our podcast when this series started that he had to win this series because he is so good that he's going to start entering that weird area where these guys are so good individually, and it's not his fault. One guy isn't going to win or lose but he's going to be entering that weird Charles Barkley area where you'd never won it. They're going to start, hockey, it's funny, man. It's a little more, the media is a little more gentle than the other sports, but gentle. And I know if this was the Yankees or the Phillies and he didn't win another title, they'd be all over him that he's a bust, that maybe individually he's great. But, legacy is funny, man. I think after this series, you're going to start hearing some rumblings about him. And again, he's like a freak. He's like a video game. He's like a video game character.
We went to game two. They lost Edmonton, but he made it look so easy. It's like he's playing people in Pee Wee.
It really is, and you hit it on the head. To see some of these guys live, it's so much different. TV, for some reason, hockey, in my opinion, and hockey, I've grown up with it. Like, hockey doesn't seem to translate great on TV for some reason. But when you go and you see some of these guys, I mean, it's ridiculous how good and skilled they really are, man. It's nuts.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. We just had a good podcast last week. She's actually from the area, big Edmonton fan. So if they lose, I'm sure she'll say that I mushed them, but we'll see what happens. Good.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, you know what? Over on our podcast, man, I seem, like I said, I take pride in my predictions. I don't have any science to it. I just make good predictions for the most part. But I tell you, I was all over Edmonton in the I think it was the second round when they were playing Vancouver. And they lost. They lost game 3, so they went down 2-1. I said it was over. Edmonton lost. It was over. They ended up winning. I've been getting shit from Edmonton people from like that day forward. And then I picked them to win the cup, and now they're not. And like you said, man, everyone's all over me.
No matter what you say, people got something to say about it. That.
It's funny, but Edmonton people have been, and I love Edmonton. I've been out there twice, but they've been all over me. They're not happy, so we'll see what happens.
Well, tonight, there's going to be people all over even more. Once we talk about this topic that we're going to debate, that every comment that you see or anything that has to do with me, you, and Joey. By the way, Joey couldn't make it tonight. He's traveling. I'll be traveling tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say hello, of course. We got a big conversation topic that we're going to talk about, and is it gravy or is it sauce? Now, tell them. Tell everybody what you say it is.
Listen, I'm going to give – I've thought about this ever since we talked – and you guys – so if you guys haven't seen the podcast with me and Snuff and Joey, you got to go back because you guys – it was actually Joey. You guys caught me off guard so much because we were talking – and, I mean, we're not like these other people that plan these viral moments. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was just talking about the formation of the Trashers and how we were sitting down and having my mom's sauce. I remember Joey, he was to my right. He just looked at me. He goes, well, here, we call it gravy.
Yeah. And
he caught me, and I know it, and I've heard it, don't get me wrong, but he caught me. You guys caught me so off guard, threw me off my game for a little bit. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm about to end this interview. I didn't love you too so much. I can't believe they call it gravy. And, listen, man, it's sauce. You and I have been talking about this almost weekly, and listen, I'm very stubborn. I'll go to the grave. It's sauce, and that's it.
When you're younger, right? You wake up Sunday, football season. Football season in my house is the biggest day. Sunday's like a party every Sunday. Whether it's my house, we have a social club. a cousin and uncle. That's the biggest day around here in Philadelphia or South Philly, let's just say. When I would wake up in the morning, my mom, what are you doing? I'm making gravy. Gravy to us is if you're putting macaroni, some people call it pasta, some people, whatever they call it, meatballs, sausage, pork. That's gravy to us. Now you're going to turn around to me and say, well, what do you call what you put on turkey? That's called turkey gravy. It's completely different. It's not even close.
Okay. I'll say this because I'm not one of these guys that's going to just it's sauce for the record, but I'll say this. When you explained it like that, I can kind of see where you guys are coming from, but at the end of the day, like I said, man, I go with, if you go anywhere and you say, people know what sauce is. Like if you go to any restaurant, you say gravy, they're going to be confused. And I'm going with sauce. And, but listen, it's not just South Philly. Look, it's not just South Philly either. There's some weirdos here in Danbury that say the same thing. And I'm just like, you guys, there's something seriously wrong with you.
You go out to like, just say, I don't know, you're going to get pizza and chicken wings. Like tonight, I'm going to get wings. I'm going to order mozzarella sticks. Give me a side of marinara sauce. That's what it is. So it's different. Like you're not going to say, give me gravy for the mozzarella sticks.
All right. I can see, you'd be a good lawyer too. Yeah, I can kind of see where you're going with it. But I'm going
the Italian festival. We had an interview with Enterprise Sports. He came down, is it gravy or is it sauce? Because everybody likes, me, you, and Joey when we talk about it. Because a lot of people, like, there's people in New York, people in Boston, people in Connecticut, people here. Everybody's got mixed reviews about it. It's really how you grew up, your grandparents.
I came home after when you guys posted the interview, like a few days after we did it. I remember getting torched by people, even local. I mean, all the South Philly guys are all over me. Don't get me wrong, but even home. It's funny. These Danbury people are funny. They hide in the weeds. All these people I didn't know were gravy guys. Yeah. All of a sudden, you and Joey say it. Now all of a sudden, they're on my ass. Oh, that is great. Never ever heard them say gravy. I'm almost 38 years old.
Gravy. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they come out of the woodwork because Snuff and Joey said that it was gravy. They drive me crazy, man.
Somebody just wrote this comment. You'll like this. Sunday gravy equals ragu. Now, ragu from where we're from is now. I don't know if this happened in your neighborhood. I remember growing up, and ragu, the brand, was just coming around. They would leave it on your door in a plastic bag for people to try it.
Oh my God, man, that is funny. I don't know who wrote that comment. Don't fall for your circular logic. I agree with that guy or girl, whoever wrote that. Listen, but yeah, man, I'm telling you, Danbury was all. I couldn't believe how many gravy people were here until after that episode, and I'm just disgusted with them because.
Let me ask you a question. Do you get this when you go out? Because I get it all the time. Like seriously, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass because you're on the show, but like I'll be somewhere and they'll be like, "Yo, how is AJ?" Or like, how was the podcast with AJ? Do you know AJ's father? Did you ever go to a Trashers? Like people, everybody, you don't realize how many people see this stuff. You really don't.
Dude, it's so crazy. And, when I came on your podcast with you and Joey, and it was an honor because I think I was the second guest because you guys had Ric Flair and then me. And I felt so like honored that I was even invited. And like you said, we just hit it off right away. I mean, we went out to eat after. I had the best oatmeal cookies of my life. You took me to that diner or wherever we went.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just. And you guys have just taken off, and it's so crazy because, you're right. You don't know who's listening.
You never know who's listening. You forget, and they know. They know.
Yeah, and it's funny, man. So many people listen. There's so many podcasts out there, but for some reason, you just don't know who's listening and watching. And I remember coming home, and you guys aired it. And like I said, man, people were. I couldn't believe all these closet gravy guys and like all this stuff. And man, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And I loved it, man.
When you have a good show, what you do. We have a good show, what we do. Everybody's show's different. If you could work with certain content creators that are, not say on your level, but you can vibe with, everything's easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even like you see me, I do the videos, like I'll talk about Little Mo Mozzarella. Great guy. Tommy G from Boston, Prosciutto Poppy, JoJo and Yankees, Boston. You know, it's like it's all like a different thing because who's rooting for the Celtics? Who's rooting for the Sixers? Phillies, Mets, Yankees. Like it's like a good vibe. You know what I mean? So when you have people you connect with, like how we did, it just everything flows better.
Well, you know, like I said in the beginning, man, it's like I always tell people it really doesn't matter where you're from, where you come from. It's like if you're just a genuine, authentic person, you know, like you vibe together. What did Slick Rick say? Light skin Jason. Oh man, no, don't. Jason Tatum. Oh man, thanks, Slick Rick. I appreciate it.
It's but
yeah, but no, man, it's true. It's like you know, we talked about this a lot, man. You see so many things on social media now and just the internet in general. And I'm going to be 38 in the summer. And it's like, you could just tell when things aren't real or authentic. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'll get you views and stuff like that. But like someone like me or someone like you, and I'm not trying to be on a pedestal. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I just know when things aren't real. And then when you meet, you know, like you said, when you connect with genuine people, it comes across in the content because it's not fake. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
and especially in this genre, and I guess you would say like our job, you know what works and what doesn't work, and you know who's real and who's not. It's easy. But when you grow up how we grew up, it's you could tell a fraud when you've seen one. You know what I mean?
And it's funny, you know, and again, I don't want to kind of limit you guys or even myself into one genre, but especially with you guys, you know, some of the things you see, it just makes you laugh a little bit. You know, I don't want to open a can of worms, but it's just like some of the stuff you see is just like, oh my God.
I know.
But hey, it's entertainment, man. It's 2024. You just, hey, God bless whatever people got to do.
I was talking today to somebody like this is the way of the world is social media. Nobody sits on your couch anymore or their sofa and puts on TV. They go right to their phone and go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and they listen to podcasts. Or they want to.
That's it. And it's crazy because, you know, I always say like I've always been a tweener. Like, you know, I guess you could call me young, but I'm also like I was raised by older guys, so it's like all those guys are really they're out there now. But it's like I'm caught in between generations in a weird way, and I know you're the same way. It's tough because listen, if I had my choice, I wouldn't be on social media, but you can't. You have to.
Media.
You know, and I bet you Joey would agree. You know, in the old days, no matter what you were doing in life, good, bad, and different, you know, the goal was, you know, just kind of be quiet, go about your business. Now, if you're quiet, you're behind the eight ball. There's something. It's almost weird if you're quiet. You know what I mean? Like you got to be doing something. You know?
Yeah, you can't. And like even with businesses, like if you're an old school and you have an old school mentality, with like there's business owners in South Philly still, and I'm sure in your neighborhood that don't understand the power of social media, and they'll tell you, you know, I'm slow right now. Well, are you advertising? Oh no, I don't do that. You got an Instagram page, you got a Facebook. They just won't do it.
And it's tough, man. It really is. And, you know, I got the boxing gym, and you know what? You're preaching to the, you know, I got to take my own advice because even with me with the boxing gym, I don't do as much as I should. And, you know, you just assume people know, but they really don't. People are so distracted now that if you're not in their face constantly. I mean, and listen, what you guys do, I mean, where's that place I always want to go when I go to Philly with you? What's that restaurant?
The Saloon.
Dude, ever since you guys posted that episode, that and the hot chocolate guy, you know, those two things, like you guys just doing that, like next time I go to Philly, I'm hitting that spot, you know, because
it's in your mind, you see it, you know what I mean? Somebody just wrote, we'll answer some questions too a little bit. Where's the best Italian food in Connecticut? Where you're from?
Well, truthfully, if I'm not being biased, if you go to New Haven, Connecticut, which is about 40 minutes south of Danbury, pound for pound, they got really good food, really good restaurants. in Danbury, it really depends. You know, the funny thing with Danbury is, like I told you, we're so close to New York that people just will just get on the highway and go to New York. But Danbury, man's got some great spots. There's a place called Gisella's right near me that's unreal. Costello, Della Francesca's a good one. But pound for pound in Connecticut, I'd say New Haven. You know, they're known for the pizza, but they got a lot of good restaurants too.
Well, somebody just asked you, do you like Frank Pepe's pizza?
Yeah, I do. But here's the funny thing. You know, everybody, you know, I don't know, like everyone in Connecticut like glazes over this type of pizza. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a huge brick oven pizza, burnt crust type. I mean, I like it every once in a while, once a month, maybe once, like quarterly taxes. Every quarterly tax, I'll go and have it.
Yeah, you gotta have one.
But I kind of like, you know, just a traditional slice, man. You know what I mean? That's just me. But
you're like a football pizza, like just a sloppy pizza. You know, $10 at your local corner store. That's how we think.
Listen, Danbury, for pizza, if you like sloppy, that sounds weird. If you like a sloppy pizza where you're going to hate yourself like the next day, but it's so worth it, John's Pizza on Peyton Road, dude, you can, like, it's like you're carrying a body in that box. They have so much cheese on there. It's like, you remember the Ninja Turtles movie, the second one, where everyone's eating pizza in the opening? Like, that's what it reminds. It's the best, it's the best pizza around, man. I'm telling you.
Listen, we have a lot of good places in Philly, you know that, and just in your neighborhood, New York, all over. Everybody's got good food, but where you're from, like, I'm leaving to go travel. I'll say today we're going to eat. I'll be like, I'm so sick of eating the same food. Soon as I go somewhere else and I'm there for 2 days, I'm like, I have to get home to eat from the Saloon, the Fitzwater Cafe, like, it's just something in you. Like, it's like that's what you need.
It's so true, man. You hit it on the head, bro. It's like, you know, that old saying, there's no place like home, no matter what. It's like, and here's the reality. Whether people admit it or not, everybody thinks, whether, you know, there's people who act like they don't like where they're from or this and that, but everyone thinks where they are, like they got the best shit. You know what I mean? Like, everybody. And, yeah, man, it's just, some things just become ingrained in you. You're right. It's so funny. You know, through boxing and stuff, I've traveled, and actually 2 years ago when I went to Edmonton for Ice Wars, and dude, I gotta tell you, and I'm already on Edmonton's shit list. I'm not even gonna say the name of the place, but I went to an Italian place in Edmonton. Okay, now I don't wanna cast dispersions on all Italian places in Edmonton. I'm sure there's some good ones. I don't know. I was there for a short trip, dude. Listen to me. And again, on the outside, it looked gorgeous. It looked authentic. I'm like, oh my God, we're back in the city. Dude, I went in, and I had one person that could vouch with me, my buddy Simon, who was with me. Listen to me. I can't even put into words how bad it was. Like not bad, like, oh, it's better in Danbury or Philly or New York. Dude, it was almost, it wasn't edible. Yeah. I was shocked. And it just goes to show you, when you're in other countries, other areas, bro, you may have a similar menu, but it's cooked differently. There's stuff in it. I mean, dude, I don't even want to be disrespectful and say the name of the place, but I'm just saying it was the worst. I mean, I would have rather ate your dog's dog food, bro. It was so bad.
You know what's funny? You just mentioned my dog. He's literally at the top of the steps just staring down at me. He watches everything I do. He just stares.
He knows I love bulldogs, man. That's my guy. I mean, I'm telling you, it was so bad, but listen, yeah, man. It's
food. When you have an experience like that, it's awful.
And you just hit it on the head. I was like, dude, I gotta get on the plane, get back home, and like literally the day I got home, I went right to Giselle's and kind of cleansed my palate, bro. It was so bad. It was horrible.
So let's get into a little bit of what do you got going on now with your podcast and with the boxing that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I own a boxing. I've been in boxing now, Jesus God, man, almost 14 years, promotion, management, advice, all that stuff. But we got the gym here. We actually got a big amateur boxing show at the Ice Arena on Saturday.
I know, I seen it. It looks great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's where the Trashers played. So, you know, it's fun to be back there, and big amateur show. And
is
yeah, man,
Diamond
just
Hands going to be there? Is your boy going to be there, Diamond Hands?
No, so Diamond Hands, the baddest man in hockey, man. He's in Colorado training right now.
Good for him. Shout out,
yeah,
Diamond.
man,
Great guy.
Oh, he's the best, man. And he's technically a free agent, so he's trying to work out where he's going to be next year. As you know, we got the podcast together. But, so sometimes I got to jump on without him and vice versa just because, he's traveling a lot. And but he's a special guy, man. His story is so – everyone says it, but his story is truly like a movie, man. He's an incredible guy, stand-up guy. And I have a feeling –
that careers, in the hockey career. Listen, Pete Rose said to me during the interview, he says it's easy to make it. It's the hardest to stay.
Yep. And listen, man, you hear all these, and you probably are sick of hearing stuff like this, but it's like that old Rocky plot to a story, right? Like the underdog.
I got the Rocky right there.
Yeah. Yeah. He's running to get his sauce. That's what he's doing over there in that picture. But but it's true, bro. It's like he's got such a Rocky Balboa type of story. And it's just those are the guys you always want to see make it. And I have a feeling he's gonna shock some people over the next year or two, and he's hungry, man. So it's gonna be fun to watch.
Listen, in this world, you got to stay hungry. Like me and you got your own thing going on. Me and Joey have our thing going on. And people don't realize, like, they think you could just come on here and just do a show. No. Listen, if you put out one bad show, that's it.
It's over.
We're on episode 42, and I think all 42 episodes were bangers.
And it's you're 100% right, man. When we started our podcast and we had to take a slight break, which I didn't want, but it was just a nature of it. You're right, man. When we first started, I figured, we just jump on and shoot the shit, dude. It is a grind, and I had to learn, quick. You got to be prepared. You got to know what you're doing. And
it's funny. Like people say to us all the time, like, who's your writer? Who's your producer? Even when we had Kevin Connolly as the producer, like he was more of the guy, like, I like when you guys are just yourselves. So I'm not going to script anything for you to say. You just go with the flow. But even doing that is hard because you still have to be prepared and you mentally want to make sure you're saying the right thing, making sure the content's good for everybody. Because listen, the fans are your biggest critics, of course. They're going to tell you if they don't like something.
No, dude, you're right. And there's a lot of pressure. Like you said, number wise, especially, you guys are way ahead of us, but there's pressure to, you're number watching no matter what you tell yourself. How many, it sucks, but you got to do it and, work the kinks out and just, just keep being consistent, keep throwing the punches, man. And eventually it's going to land,
Exactly. Eventually it's going to land. I think the best thing to get involved with social media, and I think one of the best things that I do, and I don't know if you do this, but I actually don't even read any of the comments. Like all the negative comments, I never read them. It's not that I don't want to read them. It's just something that I guess I always trained myself to do before I started doing this with the car commercials. Like I just didn't, not that I didn't care the negative thing. It just didn't bother me. Like it just don't bother me. I'm confident in who I am, so I could care less.
Well, listen, the good thing is if you are getting negative comments, it means you're doing something. I mean, that's a fact of life. I mean, when the Trashers were in their heyday, man, when I knew we were really starting to make our mark is when people were writing hate letters. They were pissed. They wanted us thrown out of the league. That's when I knew we were catching momentum. And listen, we don't get crazy amounts of hate right now. But I look at that as a bad thing because I'm like, you know what? We're not giving them enough to dislike us. So when you're getting the hate, it's so true, man. When they attack, you're on the right track, man. So they keep doing what they're doing, bro.
Listen, that's the whole thing. You just got to keep doing it and new content and new things. Like we have something different because we're a podcast, but we're also a traveling podcast. Like we'll go anywhere. We like to, do different things. If it's not Philly, it's Florida, down the shore. Like when you involve everybody that's around in the neighborhoods, people like that even more. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing.
Listen, you're 100% right. When people feel a part, and that's one thing you guys do great.
Yeah.
And I try to take some of those notes from you guys. Is like you guys really, not only you're authentic, but you really like people feel involved. You know what I mean? And when people feel involved in something, when they got a horse in the race, it's totally different than when you kind of just ignore them and fuck you, like some of these other morons. It's just like that's why you guys are real guys. So that's why people. Listen, there may be guys that are, quote, bigger in terms of views and all this other BS. Half of it's bought, by the way. I'm starting to really learn some of these guys, they're funny.
I see a girl, not going to say her name, every day on Instagram. I mean, she's my first video every day. She's got 2 million followers. She's got 1,000 views on her videos. Like,
you know what? And the number watching in this game will drive you crazy because you can think you put out recently I put out a really good interview. I mean, a really good podcast, I thought, an episode, and it didn't do great, I guess in terms of numbers. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't understand why this didn't do okay. And if you try to figure it out, you'll drive yourself crazy. And then, like you said, you'll see, Joe Jerkoff with 20 followers somehow have 15,000 views on it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
A lot of 90% of these people buy the views, like you said. 10% get lucky and it just sticks. Like me and Joey one time, I'll never forget it. We got to film the podcast at 1:00. It's like 10:30 in the morning. We just realized that we have to film it because we were going somewhere, so we had to get one in. We have nothing to talk about. He picked me up in the car. I swear to God, he picks me up in the car, and now it's 12:30. We got to be there in a half hour. I said, what are we going to talk about? He said, let's just wing it. That episode was the #1 viewed episode in all the podcasts we ever did.
It's so true, man. It's just like because you're just being authentic, it's crazy. But I'll tell you, man, it's a frustrating business. It's a frustrating, activity, whatever you want to call it. But listen, man, ultimately, the real authentic guys and girls, they always win in the end. So you just keep it going.
100%. Listen, that's what we got to do. We got to keep going, keep putting out good content. Like I said, when me and Joey get done doing what we're doing, we're going to come up here to Danbury. Definitely going to do a podcast. We always got to get together. But before we go, let's say it one more time, and you're going to stand on it. I'm standing on gravy.
Hey, listen. It's sauce all the way. I don't care. I mean, you made some decent points in your argument, but listen, I'm a stubborn guy. It's sauce. Sauce is boss. And you know what? Let's be honest, South Philly. You guys, listen, you and Joey, you guys are South Philly. So no one's going to go against you guys. Okay? So at the end of the day, I promise you, there's some South Philly guys, just like there was some closet gravy Danbury guys. There are a lot of closet sauce South Philly guys. Guys, don't be afraid. Just speak your mind to stuff.
Just admit it.
Just listen, stand on it. It's sauce or gravy. Listen, I'm willing to argue about this to the death, and I just got to be real to myself. It's sauce is boss, brother.
I love it. Listen, maybe come after the summertime, we'll do like a charity. Sauce or gravy. Maybe we'll get 2 hockey teams, maybe a golf match, basketball, anything, just to raise some money. We'll give it to a charity, we'll do something like that for sure.
Well, listen, me and my dad got the San Gennaro Festival we run here in Danbury, end of August. If you guys are around, maybe we'll do something. But yeah, man, we got to do something for charity, and you guys are always doing so much, and
absolutely.
We'll get it going, bro.
Absolutely. Make sure you tell your father we said hello. Tell your mother. Make sure you kiss the baby for me. We'll get together again this week. And thanks for coming on, my brother. I really appreciate it.
Always, man. Anytime, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night. All right, pal?
You too, brother. I'll see you guys.
AJ Galante, just the best right there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Don't forget, new episode this Thursday at 1 p.m. Full episodes only available on Patreon. Tonight, you got a good hockey game. Joey likes Florida. I like Edmonton to force a game 6. I would love for it to go 7 just because it's just something to do, something to bet, all action all the time. Don't forget, we are traveling. We're doing a bunch of stuff. So you're always going to hear from us. But if we don't answer on Instagram right away, Please be patient. We try to answer everybody. But like I said, new episode this Thursday, 1 p.m. Joey tells a childhood story about his father and Nikki. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. Keep watching. And thanks for all the loyal subscribers and followers. And Tommy Stiggs, shout out to him for always helping us out. Make sure you go over to his channel, hit that like button, share all his content, and make sure you hit subscribe on his YouTube channel and our YouTube channel. Have a good night, everybody.